Hi Pisces, welcome to your July 2017 love reading. It's Raina here. So before I begin, I just wanted to announce that I did a little experiment last month. I did separate love readings for single people, and the experiment, it didn't fail. Some people actually wanted that and appreciated that I did a separate one. But for me, it felt kind of redundant because I realized that a lot of the same themes were apropos for both single and married people. Even if you're married, if you're not vibing with your spouse, you may want a new relationship, but you don't know how to kind of make that happen. And that's why I decided to do a separate set of love readings, but they're not going to be on YouTube like this one is. They're going to be more philosophical. I think they're going to be more of looking at things from a self-improvement standpoint. And I'm going to be employing a new deck of cards that I just got, which I think are really cool. Oracle of the Mermaids. The price of these on-demand monthly readings is going to be $1.77 in your U.S. currency. So the launch date of that, I believe, will be somewhere around the middle of June. So you can check back. I don't have them up at this point, and this is June 9th, but they should be available by next week. And so I will provide a link below, but you can also just go to rainandmoonastrology.com, and they will say on-demand, videos where the, on one of the tabs. So just wanted to give you a heads up about that. Whoa. You're really getting the love cards here. I'm picking an additional card because of the nature of that card. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, there was a time when I was getting the Six of Cups practically every time I did a reading. I got it again here. So the Six of Cups is a card that I always call the soulmate card. And especially since it's a love reading. Sometimes this can be someone from your past, like a high school sweetheart, or even a grade school sweetheart. And we did have a Venus retrograde that went into your sign, Pisces, back in March. Going into April, we had this retrograde. I think it was in early April that it dipped back into Pisces. And so some of you may have had that blast from the past, that relationship, because then right after that we had a Mercury retrograde, and that tends to bring people from the past back as well. So some of you may be kind of regrouping after having this kind of situation occur. But this seems to be a card that I pick over and over again. So perhaps because of the nature of the internet, Facebook, a lot of people, and especially as people get older, I would say late 30s and early 40s seems to be the big time where they may have already gotten married. They may have even had children. And they've been there and done that, and they start to think about their past. Maybe they're having their 20th high school reunion, and then maybe that's for some of you. Maybe it's not electronically. Maybe you went to a reunion and you met somebody from your past, and that reignited something, or at least made you think about it. The past kind of coming back to haunt you or tempt you. And we have this in the past, we have the Eight of Wands. So this is like messages kind of bouncing back and forth, a lot of flurry of activity. So that could be something that had to do with internet connections, where it's like messages going back and forth. And that has led you to being in this state of like maybe feeling very enthusiastic about things. This could have even been a fire sign individual, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But for some reason, right now, you're in this state of rest. So what does that mean? Well, because there's a real stark contrast between that Eight of Wands and this Four of Swords. What that says to me is that perhaps you are starting to really go within and think about things a little bit. Maybe you're like laying off. Maybe you were like really hot and heavy, and now you're contemplative. And the obvious thing that could be happening is the sense of, is this really going to happen? Now, I just want to, maybe I should clarify. The Six of Cups doesn't have to be somebody from your past. This could be anybody that feels like a soulmate to you, that feels like you've known them forever. And even like in the higher message, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is like either saying that this is what you really want secretly, your heart of hearts, is that you want to get married and you want to have a family. Whether you're of childbearing age or not, it doesn't matter. The point is that this is a card of family joy. And so maybe you're longing for this sense of belonging in a loving group. If you've been single, you may want to feel like you're part of a family. And perhaps that person has children, even if you don't. So you would be like an instant parent. But that's what you're all about. That is what the end game is for you. You're not looking for an affair. The Eight of Wands sometimes, because it's wands and it's fire, passion, can sometimes be kind of like one of these situations where somebody sweeps you off your feet. But that's not what you're looking for. And if that has happened, the Four of Swords is like you pulling back and saying, whoa, wait a minute. This is what I want. I want this. I don't want just a one-night stand or a 1 month stand. I want something that is long-lasting. What crosses you is represented by the Four of Pentacles. So it could be a situation where you feel like you are looking for that foundation. This is a card, the number 4 represents stability. And you may feel like you haven't had that. Sometimes it can be an earth sign individual, which would be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, who is complicating your life, causing problems with you. It doesn't have to be their sun sign. It would be somebody who is either just primarily concerned about material things, their job, or they are very dry, down to earth, but sometimes it's perceived as being dry or boring even. And you may feel like this person is either trying to prevent you from having what you want, or this idea of stability in relationships is something that is eluding you for some reason. Because the Six of Cups is a very positive card and it's in the upright position, I don't think that there is I don't really think there's like a problem with that. If this person is an Aries, or they are, I would say, well, maybe a Sagittarius too. If the Eight of Wands represents a fire sign, they may be a little bit, like it's like the Knight of Wands, where they're very passionate, but they're not necessarily stable influence. and they may be too independent to be able to guarantee you that kind of marriage situation that you want. So it might be that you're hoping that they are that Six of Cups, but they're not necessarily turning out to be. The advice, or what's coming in, is the Page of Swords, and this can be, I think that as advice, I think it's more likely advice, asking you to be vigilant about your particular situation. So in other words, make sure if you have reconnected with somebody, or you just connected with somebody that feels like that's your soulmate, make sure that you really know this person well. Don't allow somebody to misrepresent themselves because they want you to think that they're single when they're really married, or that they don't have children when they have 5. Because I see in the outcome, which is why I picked another card, this is the card that can represent some sort of deception, or, especially like lies. Somebody may be misrepresenting their situation. You see that there are people in the background. That could indicate that there's more people involved in the situation than you may be aware of. And so it's wise to be vigilant. Holy tamale. What the heck is... so it's wise to be aware. Don't allow your sense of, if you really are feeling this sense of excitement, as evidenced by the 8 of Wands, don't lose your head. And you want that marriage, or when I say marriage, I mean a committed relationship. Don't lose your head, and especially do not see things the way you want to see them. See them as they really are. That's very important, because I know that Pisces people have cornered the market in rose-colored glasses. So you like to see the idealized version of a situation. And that's all well and good, but if it's not what's really happening, then you're just lying to yourself. So this could point to someone who is not who they say they are. And you have to find out, you have to discern and ferret out the truth of the situation. So I did pick an additional card, not only because it's not necessarily a positive outcome, but also because to me it's not that definitive outcome. It's more of like a warning. And so the other card that I got was the 3 of Pentacles, which is a card of the architect, and you see that he's raised the hammer. This is a card of building things from the ground floor up. This means that everything is methodical. And even though Pentacles tend to relate, we associate them with money, with career matters, even with the body or health. You can extend it to earth signs. As I said, there was an earth sign involved, perhaps, but it's also about practicality. So having relationships that are built on solid foundation is what you want, Pisces. That eight of Pentacle or Wands is all well and good, because it can be very, like, it can kind of turn your head. It can be very exciting, but it's not stable. When you're in that initial stage, and a lot of people go chasing that high of the euphoria of meeting someone, and that it could even be just lust, that physical attraction to somebody. That is not what makes the relationship a long-lasting one, which is what you say that you want. So You have to be methodical and you have to invest time, and it does take time. Yeah, there are some people and they meet each other and they get married in 3 months and they're together for many years. That does happen. But even in those cases, you have to spend time with the person in order to build a strong relationship. And too many people are impatient and they just want to cut to the chase. So do that, and I think you're going to do very well, okay? And so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. You can find me at rainandmoonastrology.com. Otherwise, have an awesome July. Bye.